Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to make a pendant out of resin. First off, this is the stuff I use, the amazing clear resin. It's regularly like $20 at Hobby Lobby, but I always use the 40% off coupon, so I get it for around $14. And I get almost 300 1-inch pendants out of this. So it's actually, it comes to like 3 cents in resin at a time, so I really like it. My friend John Campbell, Arizona Bushman, wanted me to make him some pendants, so I went and had these printed up. I don't print them myself because it's much cheaper to have Walmart or Costco print them. See, it's the logo. Pretty cool. He wants to make pendants, so I'll show you what I step by step. First, this thing is a must. This thing is a really cool toy. Can you imagine trying to cut these out circular? That's impossible. But with this, I always put it upside down and I line it up. Show you there. See? And boop. Perfect. And that gives me the design. Much easier. Then I deal with these 25mm or 1-inch cabs. I buy 500 to 600 at a time, and I like them. They're pretty cool. They're neat. So then what I'll do is, let me get some glue. Super glue seems to work the best. Yeah, if you overdo it, it's a real mess because then it's everywhere and you're stuck to it. I just put a little dab in there and I just circle it like that. Okay, I place it right there in the middle. Then I take my thumb and go all the way around, and that seals it with the super glue. See, that's first one's ready, and then so on. I'll show you what. Okay, I'm going to get ready here, and I'm going to get ready to pour in a sec. Okay, let's get on with the tricks. I got these. See, you can see I use them. See what? Since the cab is off, I can't lay it flat because the resin will run out. So I get these. They're actually flooring samples from Home Depot. Don't tell anybody. And I put them down and I put them in the corners like that. And then so on. And I keep just like that, 4 per each. Sometimes my resin I don't scrape off all the way, it gets in the way, but and like that. And that helps keep them level. I reuse cups to a point, but because these are so cheap, 5 cents a piece, I'll reuse some of them, but not very many. Usually I reuse the Bead Cup, and I'll show you what I mean. The amazing clear resin comes in both A and B. And what I do is, a lot of times, I'll mark the cups. You really don't have to, but I do it anyway. I'll do it A and B. So, and then start mixing. Now, everyone seems to have this problem, is tackiness. I don't have tackiness. You know why? Because I'm not greedy. I found out that, because I had it at first, because it was the beginning, I found out that you're pouring too much. You got to limit how much you actually mix at a time. Once I did that, I've never had a tackiness since. I'm only going to mix about 5 cc's. Now I keep these at room temperature. A lot of times if you get really bad mixture or they're really cold, a lot of times it will not come out. You'll get a lot of bubbles. But I'll show you what you do when that happens. So I'm going to pour these to exactly 5 cc and then show you mixing. Okay, I got 5 cc's of the A cup, 5 cc of the B cup. I always dump the B cup into the A cup because the A cup is a lot more denser. So seems to be a little bit more easier. And then I try and get as much as I can out, but it seems to come out pretty quick, so that's why I use the B side. And let me get a stir. And the thing about stirring is gently, real slow, back and forth, scrape the sides. Don't go crazy with your stirring. or you'll have these nasty little tiny little bubbles that will not go away. And you want to wait until it's nice and clear, because right now it's a little bit milky. You have 30 minutes to play with this, so there's no rush. As you can see, there are some bubbles in there. It's nice and clear. You can let it sit for 3 minutes, and that'll help dissipate some of the bubbles. So I'm gonna wait and let some of the bubbles leave. Okay, let's pour. Just gently until it hits the rim. I always put a little extra because if there are bubbles, I can throw it to the side. And then what'll happen is then it'll lower the resin a little bit, but then the bubbles are gone. I kind of put a little too much on that one. And because I did that, not enough for that one. Oh well, I'll make some more later. I had to learn this the hard way. Once you lay this like this, what happens? All the dust and stuff in the air starts to settle. It hits your nice finish. Then the piece is ruined. But me, I figured it out. First I started with a big sheet of glass. Then I was like, man, it's a pain having to lift that big sheet of glass. So, went to Walmart, got these little cups, and then, boom, right over the pieces. And what I do is I have them numbered from 1 to 3. Because what I do is I'll make my first batch, then I'll push it to the side, then I'll make a second batch. That way, if I'm using the same board, I know which ones are already close to settling and I can't touch it anymore. So it kind of helps you organize. So this is a good tip when you're doing jewelry, to just get something to cover. And they're reusable, you know. Just like that, you know, you just put them to the side. You don't really have to buy anymore after that. It's a $3 investment that can save you a lot of money, because I hate it when I see dust particles. You know what else? I've actually had moths fly around and just happen to go right into my pendants. It's like, okay, no moths anywhere until I start till I start to pour, and then all of a sudden they're everywhere. But this is just a good tip, and I'll show you how to look for defects. Probably can't see it, but there's a lot of different bubbles. But if you just use the light, see how I use the light bulb? Just like that, round and around. It actually tells me and shows me where the defects are. And then what I do after that is I'll take my scalpel or my little blade, and if there's like a little dust, I'll just go boop, and it's out. That's the easiest way to do that, because you can see some of these I actually have a lot of bubbles. The nice thing is a lot of these bubbles will dissipate. But say there's a lot of little bubbles in there, and there is, this is what I do with them. This is how I take out the little bubbles. Die, die, die. I hate those little bubbles. They've ruined so many pendants over time. But I've learned how to kind of get rid of them. They don't like heat. And I just keep doing that. And you don't have to really touch it. Just enough to heat it up. And that's one way to get rid of the little bubbles. Even though I stirred really softly, they still show up. They're a nightmare. I made a couple examples because I hate dots. I tried them. Let me show you what I mean. These stupid things. I don't know why people use them. They're the most laziest thing you could do, and they're the most lowest quality. I tried so many different of them, and you get so many flaws, and people are actually selling jewelry with these $15 a piece, and they look so bad. I made up a couple. Let's see, I'll probably take some pictures of them to show you. But there's actually a lot of flaws. You can see it right in here, and I even scraped the back, got all the air out. But the problem is when you pour epoxy onto a surface, it'll pick up the defects on that surface, and it shows up in your pendant. So you can see that little haze right there, right in here. It looks so terrible. I hate it. But when these are done, they will look really shiny and flawless, and that's why I just hate it when people use the dots. See, you can see the defects in them. Same with this one. You see the defect in the bottom there? I hate it. I don't know why people use the dots. Are so lazy when you can just mix them yourself. I'm not sure what else I can explain. It's pretty basic with the mixing and the stuff I use and the stamping out and the gluing. I'm not really sure what else I can add to this video, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.